Hi, welcome back. We're at Fire Station 201 to show you how your odds are dramatically increased of surviving a sudden cardiac arrest by just living in the city of Mesa. Joining me today is my friend and fellow paramedic, Captain John Tobin. John, tell us a little bit about this CPR that we see. Typically, I know it's a little different than what the regular person does out in the field. I notice we use things like cold fluids, cold packs and the such. Can you tell us a little bit about this new process?
Absolutely. The new process that we're talking about is called minimally interrupted cardiac resuscitation, or MICR, and it looks very different than standard CPR that we're teaching the public. What we're doing is using evidence-based medicine that shows that compressions are the thing that is really saving these people's lives. To give you some numbers, back before when we were doing regular CPR, we were saving about 11% of cardiac arrest victims, of sudden cardiac arrest. When we started doing more compression-based CPR, we upped that to about 30% save rates. Now that we're doing minimally interrupted cardiac resuscitation, or MICR, we're seeing save rates in the 60% range. So 60 people out of 100 get to go home to their families and friends, where we were doing just 10 before, 10 or 11 before. Wow. So what we're doing as far as the cold packs and cold fluids is evidence has shown us through medical science that when we chill a patient after they have come back from cardiac arrest, there are chemical processes that are stopped that are harmful to the patient when we chill them. So that's why we're doing that, and somebody might see that.
Okay. Now, I know in our world we call it a save when we have somebody that we've gone through this and they've gone to the hospital. Mm-hmm. When we talk about these save rates, does that include that person leaving the hospital without any medical deficits as well?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, we've talked about the difference between what the regular person does out in the field on CPR. Let's take a look at how a fire crew implements this new program you're talking about.
All right, absolutely. Sounds great. This is a clinical situation, and not everything that's going on here would actually go on a regular call. So I just want you guys to know that. This is a 4-person crew, which all of our crews in the city of Mesa are 4-person crews, and they are doing minimally interrupted cardiac resuscitation. It's going to look a lot different than regular CPR, where we used to do compressions, then breaths, then compressions, then breaths. We don't breathe for the patient with a regular breath for about 8 minutes. And this is because we have oxygen in our systems right now that will last us for 10 to 15 minutes. And this has all been proven through medical science and studies. What we do is we put oxygen on the patient, and there is a bellows effect that comes in that actually delivers oxygen to them. You're going to see that they have pads on the patient's chest, and the person doing the compressions is actually pushing on a pad. That is an accelerometer that shows them exactly how deep their compressions are and how fast they're doing these compressions, because what we're finding is the compressions really matter. So we have to do them the right depth and the right speed. We're also infusing fluids through an interosseous line, which will be drilled into a bone, and as terrible as that sounds, it really works great, and we're able to deliver our medications very rapidly that way. In about a minute or so, they are going to change compressors, because what we have found out is, even though the person doesn't feel tired doing the compressions, after 2 minutes of 2-inch compressions at 100 a minute, we have shown through this technology that their compressions start waning after that time. So we're going to switch them out.
Well, I tell you what, just looking at it from this angle right here, it really looks like it's a well-coordinated effort when you talk about just, it almost looks choreographed with having these 4 people who all are specifically doing one certain, they all have a specific job that they have to do here.
Just like on a fire scene, and they're delivering a shock right now, just like on a fire scene, this is completely choreographed and practiced. There is specific positions for each of these people. There's one person leading, there's one person doing the compressing, and then the other 2 are doing support functions throughout this whole code. And it works really, really well, and that's why we're seeing the save rates that we're seeing.
Oh, that's impressive. And I know just being on the job and seeing the amount of training that we get and constantly reviewing that training through what we call continuous education, it's really nice to see that enforced. John, thank you very much for your time. It was good working with you on this. I want to thank the crew for taking the time out here too, and thank you for watching What's on Fire. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. It's code 7 time to eat. Bye. Yes, I am, as a matter of fact. Okay, everybody pitch in.